morning, everyone. My name is Linda Mahieddine, and I am the Vice President of Daniel Henkel Corporation in North America. We are the exclusive North American distributor for LPG, and I'm also the Director of the North American Training Center called Lab Science. And I have with me today one of the best plastic surgeons, Dr. Brian Kinney, from California, where his clinic is in Beverly Hills. Good morning, Dr. Kinney.
Good morning, Linda.
Could you please talk to us a little bit more about you, about your practice, for those who may not know you?
Well, I'm in Los Angeles in the Beverly Hills area, and I'm a plastic surgeon, board certified. I've done a number of research projects in the past, and I've been involved with the LPG technique since the late 1990s.
And could you tell us a little bit more, why did you get involved with LPG techniques since 1990, which is about, what, 15 years ago already?
It's a very interesting story. So I was assigned in a committee group of the American Society of Plastic Surgeons to investigate some new technology. There was this French company, and they had come to the U.S. and made some claims about cellulite. Well, the FDA didn't like that too much. And the reason they didn't like it is because they said, you know what? You don't have any scientific proof. So they went through a period of about 1 or 2 years where they had to do scientific studies, and some studies were done at several universities, Vanderbilt, UCLA, and others, and eventually they got approval for temporary improvement in the reduction of cellulite. And for a period of 6 or 8 years, it was the only device out there. In the mid-2000s, a number of companies decided to try to copy this technique. The techniques were successful, and when they were, then the market started to open up a little bit. However, people have been adding radio frequency and laser, but there's not a lot of really good scientific data. Our friends at LPG have been involved in studies, and independently there have been 40 or 50 scientific studies. And with all these studies, we now find things that will happen that we can show conclusively. We can mobilize lymphatic fluid. We can stimulate blood flow. We can thicken up collagen, and we can improve cellulite. Mechano-Stimulation is something that's been around for a long time. However, we're now in our 3rd generation, working on our 4th generation of devices. And this makes it very...
Talking about the latest generation, it is important to know and to realize that there's so many clinics out there offering endermology treatments which have absolutely nothing to do with the latest Integral, which you are familiar with and you are using in your Beverly Hills practice. And just to say to the people that are listening, maybe that are users of the technology and have gotten the treatments, how different is this?
Well, you know, the ES1 machine is mid-1990s, and then the CELLU M6 was an improvement. Now the Integra machine, which is similar to the one we have, the Endermolab, the big one with the table, it's a little bit like asking if you were going to drive a 15-year-old car. The technology is clearly different. There's a number of things that are different. The rollers, the suction devices, the computer control, the complete explanation of protocols, the visual panel that helps guide you through the treatments.
That is so important when we get to speak about the protocols, because a lot of practitioners using the treatments, their biggest challenge is how can we offer consistency in their protocols? And this is one of the things that right now we're able to offer with no downtime, with no doubt about how efficient the technique will be. And this is also thanks to the new coach that we call with the new Integral.
Well, you know, it's interesting. If you gave me a violin, it wouldn't sound very pretty. And if you give me this machine, I might not do a very good job unless I knew exactly what the protocols were. So the protocols have been worked out. The science I talked about, and then there's the art. And you mix the art and the science together so that you can have these procedures very consistent, very reliable, and you can get the feedback. The other thing is the machine will accumulate information about how you treat, and you can get software uploads for new protocols.
Something you said very interesting from a plastic surgeon's mouth, the art. The art of doing it is such an important thing, and this is also why we are giving 3 days of training, and the training is the most important thing based on following this technology. Yes, it does work. It does work by itself because of all the science and all the reasons you have mentioned earlier, but the art and the way to do it is crucial, and I think your employees have experienced it not too long ago.
Yes, they have. They took a 3-day class last year in Montreal, had wonderful experience, and learned how to, they became much better. And I think that if you go initially for your training, you'll get good results. If you go a few months later, you can go sort of a 2nd level. And then if you've had a lot of experience, you can even go to a 3rd level. There are things that you can use this for. It was originally started for burns. So with a burn patient, you can soften hard scar. It can be used after liposuction, after surgery, like in these pictures here. And that's where I first became interested in it, was as a surgical adjunct. And then, of course, cellulite, which is just maybe non-surgical, just the women out there that don't want a surgical option. So it's really very interesting, very exciting.
Thank you. What's also interesting, like Dr. Kinney was mentioning, is the variety of treatments we can offer with the CELLU M6 Integral. Not only we have amazing scientifically proven results on cellulite, and it's one of the very few companies able to say this out loud and be proud of it, we can work in the same session on cellulite, yes, on body contouring, and it's the only device out there being able to completely change the body shape, the morphotype, not only the morphotype, but the way you look, the way your full body looks, because we're working on the full body in 45 minutes, all across, depending whether you have cellulite or weight loss or even firming. For example, inner thighs, outer thighs, saddlebags, after pregnancy cannot be treated the same way. It is not the same skin. And with the Integral right now, compared to the previous generation, we're able to target those areas and give you the best results you have ever had with one treatment, one technology, one appointment. And this is a lot of gain of time. But not only that, as a physician, it's also a lot of gain of money.
Yeah, it can be very good for your practice. It can make very happy patients. You know, there's a couple of core ways that this makes a difference. Scientific studies show we can mobilize lymphatic fluid, swelling. We can do that with radioactive nuclides, iodine that's labeled, and you can watch 1 or 2 liters, 1 or 2 quarts of fluid come out of a leg. So we know it does that. We know it stimulates blood flow. In addition, we know that it increases collagen, deep collagen that firms and tightens the tissues. And then finally, the FDA cleared it for cellulite. So there's 4 scientific reasons that it can work. And you add to this the way it blends into your practice and helps patients coming back, the non-invasive type of practice. Surgeons who are now using medi-spas to not only they do injections, they do other devices, but this is a core part of having a medi-spa for your practice to bring the patients back over and over again.
True. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Kinney, for your generosity today in sharing with us your experience, the science behind this, and I hope you will be able to try this technology, to offer it to the patients, because everybody will be amazed with the results. But not only that, everybody will enjoy it because it is a complete, relaxing, efficient treatment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.